In this video, you'll witness the awe-inspiring size of anacondas, some of the largest and heaviest snakes in the world. With an adult mass reaching up to 100 or 200 kilograms and a length of 4 to 5 meters, these reptiles are a sight to behold. The current record holder among anacondas is an incredible 5.21 meters long. However, a newly discovered anaconda in the Amazon River may just take the crown. Join me in this episode as we explore this colossal creature. It's definitely a sight not to be missed. The largest anaconda in the world. So, as I said, officially the largest anaconda reached 5.21 meters. Its weight was 97.5 kilograms. This individual was caught in Venezuela, after which scientists made all the necessary measurements and recorded the snake as a record breaker. However, many people believe that there are even larger anacondas in the world which simply weren't measured by scientists. They're right. A few years ago, a video she said, "The snake." Of course, it would not hurt them because anacondas are not venomous, and this individual was full, but still, you shouldn't disturb such huge reptile. Nevertheless, soon the fisherman got bored of hiding and swam up to the anaconda again. One of the fishermen even began to pull its tail and tried to either lift it over the water or drag it into the boat. Fortunately, or unfortunately, he did not succeed. The snake was too big. The giant didn't fight back and simply swam away. And what about size? The fishermen weren't able to take measurements, and that's not surprising. It was simply unrealistic to do so without special equipment. But by all appearances, the snake was bigger than the record holder from Venezuela. Apparently, it exceeded 5 meters in length and weighed no less than 100 kilograms. This is why many people believe that the fisherman managed to find the largest anaconda in the world. Perhaps someday, scientists will be lucky enough to stumble upon this individual and make all the necessary measurements to record it. In the meantime, we just have to wait. By the way, as for the fishermen, although this video made them famous, it also drew the attention to the authorities. The state didn't like the fact that the fishermen were treating the snake this way, so officials fined them for environmental damage. It's not known exactly how big that Amazon anaconda was. It's not known whether it's still alive today or whether it's gone. But one thing is certain. The snake was unusual and amazing. Our planet is full of other unusual and interesting snakes, which will be a discovery for you. Stay tuned because in the second part of this episode, I'll show you just such amazing, unusual, and even strange snakes, which will definitely amaze you. Let's move on. Spider-tailed horned viper. There are snakes with tentacles, and there are snakes with parts of a spider's body. It's clear from the name that the spider-tailed horned viper is one of the latter. It's a rare species of venomous snake that inhabits the Iran-Iraq border. The snake was discovered relatively recently. For the first time, it was described only in 1968. However, at that time, scientists could not unravel the unusual structure of its tail and believed that the snake had a birth defect or injury. In 2001, new individuals were discovered, and in 2006, the spider-tailed horned viper was approved as a new species. The spider-tailed viper boasts an unusual tail, the tip of which resembles a spider. The reptile has learned to take full advantage of its body feature. It hides in rock crevices or ambushes under stunted bushes near its shelter, sticks out its tail and starts waving it around, creating the illusion of a spider's movement. Birds and lizards fall for such a prey approach to eat the spider, but realize too late that there's no spider and that they just become prey themselves. These spiders-tailed horned viper kills its victims in a split second, which makes these snakes sneaky tacticians and first-class killers of the reptile world. Tentacle snake. When you look at a tentacle snake, you may notice something like small horns on its head. These are tentacle-like outgrowths covered with fine scales. It's thanks to them that the snake got its name. These tentacles, which are the main feature of the snake, are used by the reptile as sensors. With the help of the outgrowths, the snake receives information about what's going on around it. In a calm state, the snake presses its tentacles to its head, and when necessary, it extends them forward as antennae. With the help of these outgrowths, the tentacle snake navigates in space and also hunts for fish. Preparing to hunt, the snake turns its head in the shape of the letter J and waits for its prey in this position. When the victims near the snake spurts with its tail and the fish get right into the mouth of the reptile, This unusual principle of hunting is very effective. 78% of the hunt ends successfully. Misses occur when the fish does not act according to reflexes. By the way, among other things, this snake is also venomous. But don't worry, the power of its venom is only enough to neutralize the caught fish. The venom is not dangerous for humans. Besides, the fangs of the tentacle snake are too small and deep enough in its mouth to cause any harm to humans. Chrysophelea. The name of these snakes is kind of boring, isn't it? It's good that there's another one, flying snakes. The most interesting thing is that this name fully describes these amazing reptiles. They really can fly. Unusual flyers live in the jungles of South and Southeast Asia. They prefer to cover the distance between trees by air. Before flight, the reptile crawls to the end of a branch and hands down from it in such a way that it resembles the letter J. Having chosen its direction, it pushes off with the part of its tail left on the branch and sets off in free flight, continuing to wriggle as if it were crawling on the ground. As it flies, these snakes' normally round body becomes remarkably flat. The reptile spreads its ribs and retracts its abdomen, creating a concave surface underneath. This transformation makes its body more aerodynamically perfect. Flying snakes can move from branch to branch in a series of short jumps or make a longer flight from the top of tall trees, during which they can fly a distance of up to 10 meters. Even though they can fly, their venom is not lethal to humans. So, if somewhere in Asia such a reptile falls on you from the air, you'll get off with nothing more than a fright and most likely delight. Atheris Hispida. Next up is another no less interesting viper called Atheris Hispida. This reptile has a very unusual appearance. The scales of these snakes are curved, which gives them a bristly appear. Distantly, these reptiles resemble something prickly. These unusual creatures live in Central Africa, where they have a predatory lifestyle. These snakes are venomous, so they actively use toxins to catch their prey. They feed on small animals like mice and lizards, as well as birds. These vipers hunt at night and sleep in shelters during the day. Despite the fact that these creatures reach only 70 centimeters in length and in general do not look large, their venom can be called very powerful. It's extremely dangerous not only for animals, but also for people. Therefore, if you see such a prickly reptile, it's better to stay away from it. Carphophis. When we think of snakes, we usually imagine huge or at least medium-sized snakes that reach at least 1 to 2 meters in length. And no wonder, since many snakes are just that. However, there are much smaller snakes on Earth. They're so small that they can be confused with earthworms. Carphophis are just such snakes. They also have a second name, worm snakes. These snakes can be called tiny. The total length of this genus individuals reaches only 35 centimeters. As a rule, the coloration of these snakes is dark brown on top and lighter color, pink or orange on the bottom. The head's narrow, the eyes are small, and the tip of the tail is sharp. Carphophis is often confused with other similar species, such as ground snakes and brown snake. These snakes spend most of their time burrowing in loose rocky soil or under falling leaves. Ironically, they feed mainly on earthworms. By the way, they live in North America, so you may accidentally dig up a couple of Carphophis when you'll dig up some worms for fishing. Madagascar leaf-nosed snake. And let's finish this episode with a snake that can be safely called one of the most unusual on the planet. When you look at the Madagascar leaf-nosed snake, its peculiarity, a very unusual snout, immediately catches your eye. The male's tip of the snout has a long and elongated shape. Well, the female's nose is flat and very leaf-like, hence the name of the species. Scientists still do not know why these snakes have such a strange nose. Some experts believe that such an outgrowth plays a role in mating games. Others think that the elongated nose helps baby snakes to get out of the egg. There's also the opinion that it's a tool of mimicry. What? With a long nose and a certain hanging style on a tree branch. The Madagascar leaf-nosed snakes resemble the vanilla polyps that grow ubiquitously in Madagascar. In this way, they can defend themselves against large animals. But don't think that these snakes are only hiding and defending themselves. They're excellent hunters. These snakes are venomous. With its venomous fangs, the snake hunts small animals, birds, frogs, lizards, and rodents, which form the basis of its diet. The venom is also dangerous to humans, but fortunately it's not fatal. After a bite, the wound is swollen and painful. The symptoms go away a few hours after the bite. We've come to the end of this video, folks. Out of all these remarkable snakes, which one left you the most astonished? Share your thoughts with me in the comment section below. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll catch you later.